Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 797th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say, this battle is fought on the Nordic Woodland map, and this is another one of my favourite maps. It's quite an interesting map, this one. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Mars. Now, Mars has got 10 infantry, 4 archers, and 6 cavalry. Okay, 10 infantry, 4 archers, and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and you'll see he's got 8 upgrades. So that's 2 veteran stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So I think that would be a tried and tested Mars' Roman army there. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Dionysos. Now he has just got 7 infantry, yes, just 7 infantry, 7 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, so 7 infantry there. Okay, can just ask all of you watching this, do you think that 7 infantry is enough infantry for the modern 31k battlefield? Just 7 infantry. It'll be interesting to see how well this army does. He usually brings quite serious cavalry. Let's have a look at the upgrades of his cavalry. Oh my gosh, yes, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. 3 veteran stripes, gold shield, gold attack. That lifts his cavalry out of the elite bracket into the super bracket. Okay, so 6 fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry here of Dionysos. But will 6 fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry make up for just 7 infantry? I guess we'll just have to see as the battle unfolds. Okay, one thing's for sure, if any enemy armies put pressure on him, he can only back off with only 7 infantry. Okay, our next teammate is brother member Aurelius with his faction of choice. Now he's got 10 Spartans, he's got 4 archers, and he's got 4 missile cavalry. Okay, remember the 31k rules, we only allow 2 missile cavalry, but he's got 4, I think he forgot in this particular battle. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, has got a very old Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle, and I really hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Jason Bourne. Okay, now Jason Bourne is just coming back after an 8 to 10 break, 10 years break from Rome Total War. So he hasn't played a Rome Total War for 8 to 10 years, and this is his first battle since he's back. Now Jason's got 3 archers, 11 infantry, and 6 cavalry. Okay, 3 archers, 11 infantry, and 6 cavalry. But as I say, this is his first game from between 8 to 10 years since he's played Rome Total War. So I think he was a bit worried about being rusty. He was a bit worried about his army build as well. You see, he's got 2 eagle units there to give morale to his infantry. If you notice, he hasn't got an infantry general there, and that's why he's got 2 eagle units to give morale to his infantry, and he's got an old school armoured cavalry general. Now just to remind you that up to about maybe 14-15 years ago, we all used to bring this unit as our Roman general before most of us switched to an infantry general. So make no mistake, this is an old school army here. And as I say, he hasn't played from 8 to 10 years, and I think he does feel a little bit unsure, a little bit rusty here. So it'll be interesting to see how well he plays. He was a great player of his day. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now Barclayman has got 11 infantry, 3 archers, and 6 cavalry. Okay, 11 infantry, 3 archers, 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's just got 7 upgrades. That's an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack there. So, as I say, unusual to see Barclayman bring Rome. He usually brings Carthage's faction of choice. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Uther. Now, Uther's got 13 infantry and 6 cavalry. 13 infantry and 6 cavalry, and you just look at his army build there, you'll notice that he's got an eagle unit there. Can you see? He's got legionary first cohort unit there, an eagle unit there, an eagle unit there, plus he's got his infantry general as well. So he's got 3 units of morale boosting ability there in his infantry. So that's a lot of morale going to be in his infantry, and of course his cavalry are hiding in the woods there. Okay, so that, make no mistake, that would be a tried and tested Uther army there, Roman army there. And just see their last teammate over here is Brotherhood member Mantu. Now Mantu has got 14 Sacred Band infantry and 6 light cavalry. If you have a look at his light cavalry there, quick look at the upgrades on his light cavalry. If you count them up there, you'll see he's got 8 upgrades. That's 2 veteran stripes, gold shield, gold attack. These cavalry are fast moving, and with good upgrades on, you'd be surprised on how tough they are for crashing into the back of tired, engaged enemy troops and taking out archers as well. They're a useful, very useful unit to have within your army. So that was the enemy team there. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle, and something unusual happens during this battle that I think you'll find quite interesting. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, we've literally just pressed start here. You'll see that Brotherhood member Dionysos is taking his army down through the woods here towards the enemy. Now remember that Dionysos has only got 7 infantry. And of course, the moment he comes up against a normal Roman army with more numbers than him that attack him, he's going to have to retreat. Right, quick look at this Nordic woodland map. Can you see this slight incline here? Okay, now the enemy, if they want to attack, can attack up this slight incline, and this has been done many times before very successfully. So, as I say, if the enemy team want to be attacking, let's say they can attack up that slight incline there. As I say, it's been done over the years many, many times very successfully, and it's led to victory to the attacking team. Or they can bring, if they want to attack, all their troops over to this area here, which is a flat part of the map there, and they can then, if they want to attack on a flat ground there, flat ground straight into us there. So whichever way the enemy team wants to attack, if they do want to attack, they can either attack up the incline or go to that flatter part of the map and attack from there. Okay, so the enemy team, if they want to be aggressive, that's the 2 places that people usually attack there. But to say, at this stage of the battle, you'll see Dionysos taking his 7 infantry forward there. Okay. And over here, if you notice there, right on the other flank there, right on our left flank, you'll see that I'm now running my army over, because we've decided this is where we want to form up, over here on the right flank. So I'm running my infantry and cavalry over it as fast as I can there to team up with my teammates there. As I say, we've agreed to meet up on the right flank. Okay, so as I say, Dionysos here has moved his 7 infantry forward, keeping them in the woods there. But the moment, with only 7 infantry, he comes up against a normal-sized army there, the only thing he can do is pull back, because obviously he would be overwhelmed by numbers there. Okay, as I say, you can see Barclayman here. You may well look to move up the incline there. And you'll see Dionysos is bringing his archers across here as well. Now, bearing in mind that, as I say, he's going to be on a little bit of the higher ground there because of the incline. His archers' arrows will go further and do more damage there. Okay. So, as I say, you can see Jason Bourne's army, Barclayman's army, and Uther's army there. Looks like they're going to move up the incline there from the position that I can see them in. Right, now you make no mistake here, Uther would have seen the small numbers of Dionysos' infantry there, so he's going to move his infantry forward. Now my guess is Dionysos is now going to retreat. There you go. Because of course he couldn't stand against that many infantry with only 7 infantry of his own. So he's going to pull his infantry back. He's got his archers probably shooting into Uther's infantry as it's moving forward. Okay, over here you'll see Mars bringing his infantry over from the right flank there. And you can see Aurelius taking his Greek cities army forward there, but you'll see there that Mars is taking up a defensive position there on the incline. Okay, you'll see Barclayman there moving over towards Dionysos' army to accompany Uther, probably attacking Dionysos. But if you notice there, Dionysos is moving his 7 infantry back. Okay, meanwhile, right the way over on our left flank, you'll see that Brotherhood member Mantu is just bringing his Carthage army out of the woods there. Okay, and he may well fancy taking on Aurelius' Spartans there with his Carthage Sacred Band spearmen there. That could be an interesting tussle between Mantu and Aurelius if they do actually lock horns. Be very interesting to see what happens. But as I say, over here on the right flank, as I say, you can see Mars there is taking a position halfway down the incline, and you'll see that I'm moving my army. I nearly got over to this right flank now with my army, so that's good news. Got over there before being intercepted by any enemy troops. Okay, so over here you'll see that Aurelius is taking his Spartan army forward there. His Greeks is his army forward towards Uther. Now my guess is that Uther will probably move away from the Spartan army. Most Roman generals do not want to take Spartans on head on, so Uther will be moving his army away there. And as I say, you can see Mars's army there. As I say, he's settled on halfway down the incline. Now you could say that Jason Bourne's army here, he may well move up to this position here with a view to flank Mars's army. Do you see what I mean? And he's got his cavalry hiding in the woods as well, so he could bring his infantry and cavalry maybe up to this position here with a view to try and flank Mars there, attack him in the flank there, and then maybe Barclayman could advance up the slope there to pin and hold Mars's units. Do you see what I mean? That's possibly a good tactical move there by Jason Bourne. Here you'll see Barclayman's brought one of his urban cohorts forward there. Just been throwing some pilers into, I think, some archers there. But meanwhile here you'll see, as I say, Mantu bringing his Carthage sacred band over. As I say, he may well fancy locking horns with Aurelius there in a spear on spear battle, Carthage versus Greek cities. If that does happen, who do you fancy winning there? Bearing in mind that Mantu's got 14 sacred band and Aurelius has only got 10 Spartans. So that could be an interesting little tussle there. Okay, can you see Dionysos here? I'm not sure if he knows exactly what he's going to do. He may well look to do a flanking action on Uther, but with only 7 infantry, his options are a bit restricted when it comes up to normal numbers of enemy armies there, because of course most people bring like at least 13 or 14 infantry, twice as much as what he's got there. Now over here you'll see that Mantu's light cavalry has taken out a couple of Aurelius as missile cavalry there. Remember those light cavalry with good upgrades on can be quite effective and quite very, really good useful units to bring within your Carthage army there. Those fast moving cavalry units. Okay, so to me Mars looks a little bit isolated there with his SBQR army. I don't know what all of you think, and he's like gone halfway down the incline there. So, as I say, if the enemy get up round his flank there, and he's moving towards them there, so he's moving on down the incline there, and I think he's possibly put his army in maybe a vulnerable position. But meanwhile, over here, what's happening is Aurelius, okay, and Dionysos have decided to do a 2-on-1 on Mantu. Okay, so I guess what they're thinking there, if they can hit Mantu quickly, they could take him out and then get over to help us. Now what Mantu's doing here is a really good tactical move. He can see they're both coming for him there. Look, he can see Aurelius and Dionysos moving towards him. So what Mantu's thinking there, he's going to take their armies away from the main battle. Okay, so he's hoping Dionysos and Aurelius are going to follow him. Okay, and of course, if they follow him over to where he wants to take them, okay, so I'm guessing he may well take his army over to those trees there and kind of form up in the trees to make it more difficult for them to attack. But if he draws those two all the way over there, you can see what he's thinking here. That leaves myself and Mars, okay? So that leaves myself and Mars to face 3 armies. Okay, so we're going to be facing Uther, Barclayman, and Jason Bourne. So while Aurelius and Dionysos is chasing Carthage there, poor old Mars and myself, I've got to try and hold against 3 armies here. And I can see Uther possibly flanking Mars. Just look how exposed and isolated Mars's army is there. And I think if he's not careful, he could get flanked on both sides and get hit in the front by enemy troops as well. So I think what might be a good idea here is for Mars to maybe withdraw from that position. And to be honest with you, I did actually suggest that to him, that he may well want to move back up the incline a bit towards my army, because otherwise, as you can see, he's going to be very isolated there, and if he's not careful, he could get smashed and crashed in that position there. If you look at the disposition of the enemy troops and the numbers of the enemy troops, let's pause again for a second. Looks to me like he was here thinking about putting his troops into testudo, looking at the shape of his units there. But as I say, you can see the enemy troops that are moving in on him, And as I say, I think at this stage of the battle I did suggest that he moves his infantry back up the slope now, because he's in such an exposed position there. Okay, tactically and strategically there, I just imagine the enemy team are kind of rubbing their hands together there. There you are. You can see now that Mars has decided to withdraw his army from that position, but it looks like he's going to get smashed by cavalry. If you notice here, I'm moving my infantry forward there, trying to support his retreating infantry. Remember, in warfare, retreating with the enemy right on your back, right on your heels, is one of the most difficult strategic moves to make. And there you are, Mars is in an awkward position, being hit by cavalry. Look, that Barclayman's cavalry coming in on him there. So, as I say, Mars there, the positioning of his troops did leave him a little bit exposed there. And as I say, I did suggest on a couple of occasions that he should move his army back from that position, maybe over towards my army there, so that I could support him. But meanwhile, over on our other flank there, you'll see that Mantu is doing exactly what he wants to do and drawing Aurelius and Dionysos away from the main battle. Okay, and then as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if he formed up in some woods somewhere, because remember, attacking troops, attacking through woods, the trees kind of really reduce their charge bonus. And over here you'll see that Dionysos is fully upgraded cavalry, has routed some of the light cavalry of Mantu there. Okay, so Mantu just wants to keep that light cavalry away from that heavy cavalry of Dionysos is there. It looks like it may well have been an ambush in the woods there. But as I say, over here, poor old Mars and myself are up against 3 armies. So we're hoping that if Aurelius and Dionysos decide to both go after Mantu, that they hurry up and finish him off and get over to help us, because, as I say, it's not much fun 2 armies being up against 3. Okay, once again I suggested to Mars to pull back from that position there, which he's doing now, and he probably possibly integrate his infantry with my infantry now, but the infantry that he's got left has been battle damaged. So as I say, you can see where my army is. My army is actually on the if you like, just on the edge of the incline there. I'm pulling my army back now because I can see Uther there looking to flank my army. Okay, can you see him coming up through the woods there, looking to flank my army there? I can see that. So I've pulled back to try and neutralise that situation. You've got a lot of Julii cavalry there, look, ready to, they're locked and loaded, ready to charge in on us here. So we're just trying to withdraw further away towards our allies there, with these 3 armies moving in on us there. As I say, just look at that red Julii cavalry there, locked and loaded, just ready to smash into us there if they get a chance. Okay, but meanwhile, back at the Carthage battle, there we go, just as I thought he would do, Mantu's going to set his spears up in the woods. Now remember, attacking enemy troops in the woods, a lot of their charge bonus is reduced, because of course charging into trees is going to slow your charge down. So Mantu's doing a really good tactical move there in setting up in those woods there. He knows that the trees will reduce charge bonus there, and that's why he's set up there. And don't forget, the longer he can hold there against Aurelius and Dionysos, the more his teammates are doing a 3v2 on Mars and myself. So yes, I think that's what Mantu's tactic is there, is to hold as long as he can, giving his teammates time to take out Mars and myself here in a 3v2. Okay, but as you can see, we keep moving back there. We're trying not to allow the enemy team to flank us at all there, look, as we move back. There you can see there, Uther was really trying to get on our flank there, but as I say, both Mars and myself have moved back now. But numbers wise, if you just look at the enemy team, remember the enemy are the red Julii and the green Brutii, and Mars and myself are the purple SBQR. Maybe Mars needs to pull back from that position again. Once again, his infantry a little bit exposed there. That maybe the best thing to do is to pull over and integrate his infantry with mine, possibly there. But say, don't make no mistake, Uther can be very, very aggressive there with his infantry. There's a lot of pilot exchanging going on between Uther's army and my army at the moment there, but I think I'm going to move my army back a little bit there to kind of realign it. I wasn't happy with the way that it was facing the enemy troops there, so as you can see, I'm moving my infantry back to realign my battle formation there to face the most danger there. Okay, so make no mistake, Uther's going to be really aggressive there, and the enemy will realise that they're in a 3v2 position, and they know that there's a battle going on at the rear of the map there, so those 3 enemy armies will really try and take us out there, while Mantu is holding up he's keeping our allies fighting there. Right, you can see that Dionysos here looks like he's taken out all of Mantu's cavalry there. As I say, here you'll see Aurelius there attacking with his Spartans, but like I said, when you attack enemy troops going into woods, obviously the trees slow down your advance, so a lot of your charge bonus is lost. Okay, here you'll see that Dionysos is trying to get his 7 infantry round the flank here of Mantu. He may well even take his infantry right behind Mantu there. That's what he may well do. My guess is he's got full pilers there, so if he gets in behind Mantu and throws his pilers obviously into the weakest part of any unit in RTW, into their backs, and then attacks them there, he could well finish off Mantu. But as I say, the enemy team will realise that they're in a 3v2 advantage there, and they really want to take us out, take Mars and myself out here before our allies can get over to help us. Okay, that's what's happening there. I'm throwing some more pilers into Uther's troops there. You can see once the pilers start flowing, it's like it's almost raining. Look at the piler. It's going into Uther's army there from my army. Just look at it. Like I say, it's almost raining pilers down onto Uther's army. There comes a cavalry attack there by Uther. Now, is he going to follow that cavalry attack through? No, he's not. He saw my cavalry was going to counter his cavalry attack, so he pulled his cavalry back. If you notice, Mars has now moved his infantry closer to my infantry now. As I say, make no mistake, the 3 armies of the enemy here will really want to try and finish Mars and myself off quickly here before our allies can get over to us. They want to really take advantage of this 3v2. As I say, Uther, Barclayman and Jason there will really want to finish us off, as I say, as fast as they can. But it all depends on how long Mantu can hold on here against 2 armies. Okay, now as I say, there you can see, as I suggested earlier, Dionysos has got his 7 infantry in behind a Mantu sacred band here. So Mantu is now fighting the Spartans at his front, and he's going to have SBQR troops in behind him. And as I say, my guess is that Dionysos has got full pilers there, so he's going to cause a lot of casualties. He's got his fully upgraded cavalry there ready to charge in as well. Okay, you can see that he's got his cavalry there, possibly ready to assist his infantry there in finishing off Mantu. Okay, but there you are. You can see there that Mantu now is being attacked from the front and the rear. So how long Mantu is going to be able to hold now, I don't know. But as I say, he's trying to hold as long as he can to give his allies a chance to actually take out Mars and myself. So just as long as Mars and myself can hold on here, there, I think what I'm going to do with my infantry is I'm going to look to realign my infantry again there. Can you see I'm moving my formation again there? And you can see all the enemy troops there just waiting to charge in. All the Reds, Julii and the Green Brutii troops there. You can see Mars taking his cavalry over here behind my infantry. But his infantry now could be very exposed to cavalry attacks. Now he's moved his cavalry away. Can you see that? If the enemy troops smash into those Testudo units there, and if they move their infantry forward as well, there's a real chance that Mars's army could be taken out there. If they're quick and they move fast onto his infantry and smash his infantry with cavalry there, he could take out Mars's army. Okay, that's what I think they could well be looking to do. There goes that Julii cavalry going in there. Look, bang, and that charges in there. And over here you can see Mars has charged a couple of his units in, and there comes Uther's cavalry coming in there. Look, bang, as he charges in there. I'm going to counter attack with my cavalry here. Look, you can see my 6 units of cavalry going in there as well. Look, bang, as they charge in there, and you can see Mars bringing in the rest of his cavalry there, different hit points. Look as he smashes in one lot of cavalry, bang, as it is there, and then he's got the other lot there, look, going in as well. Look, and bang, as he smashes in there as well. Nice support there by Mars's cavalry there. And if we could rout Uther's infantry, that would be a good plus for us. But Mars' own infantry there is being hit by Brutii cavalry and infantry and Julii cavalry as well. Okay, so make no mistake here, the enemy team are really trying to take us out there before our allies can get over to us. Now, meanwhile, at the back here, you'll see that Dionysos now is moving some of his infantry towards us. Sorry, some of his cavalry towards us there. And it looks, there you are, it looks like Aurelius and Dionysos have finished off most of Mantu's sacred band units there. They've just got a few more units to take out there. As I say, I think Mantu was doing a good tactical decision there in forming up in the woods, trying to attract two of our armies there to attack him, which they've done. And then that, as I say, that leaves his team with a 3-2 advantage there. But I'm just hoping now that Dionysos and Aurelius can hurry up and finish off the last units and then get reinforcements over to us, because make no mistake here, that's it's a pretty tough battle that Mars and myself are doing here against 3 armies. Okay, you can see there the enemy troops. I was just thinking here, if all those enemy troops charged in one go now, they would just overwhelm us. Right, you can see I brought my cavalry back, locked and loaded, and charged it back in. Look, and bang, as it smashes in there to the enemy Julii troops there. That was a nice hit. And here you can see Mars coming in from 2 separate angles there with his cavalry. Look, and bang, as he smashes in there. Looks like we could well take out a lot of Uther's troops there with our cavalry. And here you can see Barclayman's Brutii cavalry going to smash into my battle formation as well. Look, and bang, as it smashes in there. Dionysos has managed to get some of his cavalry over here, and he's charged in as well. Look, bang, as he charges fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry in there as well. Somewhere in there, my infantry still holding. I've locked and loaded my cavalry. I'm going to charge it in again. Look, and bang, as it charges in there, trying to penetrate through those the enemy lines. They've routed a lot of enemy troops with that cavalry hit there. As I say, Mars' infantry still holding over here as well, against lots of enemy infantry attacking him there. There where you can see Jason Bourne coming in from a nice angle there. That's a nice hit there by Jason. Look, bang, straight in on the flank of my infantry. Nice hit there by Jason and his general unit as well. Look, smashing in there. Still my infantry is managing to hold. I'm going to counter-attack again with my cavalry there. You can see there, and I think some of Dionysos' cavalry and Mars' cavalry smashing in there as well. Look, and bang, as we smash through. Look at the penetration of our cavalry. Pause again for a second here. Can you see Mars coming in from different angles there with his cavalry? There, can you see that? It's coming in from 3 separate angles there for 3 impact points with his cavalry. So that's a nice move there by Mars. You'll see that both Aurelius and Dionysos now are bringing their infantry over after defeating the Carthage sacred band units there. So hopefully they'll get over quite quick, because I'm just looking at the numbers there. Remember, the enemy are the green and the red. Okay, so just looking at the numbers there, I seem to be quite a few numbers of them there, but we are routing quite a few of their units. I'm really glad my old-fashioned infantry battle formation has managed to hold there, because I've had a lot of big cavalry attacks as well as infantry attacks on my battle formation there, so I'm pleased that that old formation managed to hold there. You can see that Brutii cavalry of Barclayman is really pushing in to my infantry there. But as I say, I think we've done quite well. Here you can see I brought my cavalry back, locked and loaded, and charged it back in again, like a bang, as it charged back in there. But you can see a heck of a lot of enemy troops, Brutii troops and Julii troops pressing in there. See Dionysos there helping Mars, and then and thank goodness for that, Aurelius' Spartans have just arrived as well. So Dionysos and Aurelius have just managed to time that just right, while Mars and myself held up 3 armies there. I thought Mars did really well. You can see enemy troops charging in there. You can see my very, very battle damaged cavalry. I'm going to charge back in there, and you can see Barclayman charging his Brutii cavalry in there as well. Look, bang, as that charges in there. So you can see the enemy Brutii and Julii troops really pushing in on my infantry there. As I say, Aurelius has got his Spartans across there, and you can see a lot of enemy troops starting to rout there, We've got our archers over here as well. So there's Aurelius, look. And you can see that Dionysos' infantry has just arrived. If you look, they're exhausted. So that's why they're running so slowly. Remember, when units are exhausted, they move a lot slower. There you are. We've got a lot of our archers shooting into the enemy troops all the way through this battle as well. But you can see a lot of enemy units there starting to rout now that was attacking my battle formation. I've still got some of my cavalry units fighting in there at the moment. There you can see Mars coming in with his cavalry there, smashing into that Brutii infantry and cavalry there.
The enemy army is in flight.
And it looks pretty well here, like we've routed most of the enemy army. Let's say here comes Aurelius there with his Spartans there. Looks like he's just going to finish off. And there's a cavalry hit in the back of some of Jason's units there. And it looks like we've managed to go on to to win the battle there. And anyway, you can see most of the enemy troops have now routed there. I can't believe that Mars and myself managed to hold against 3 armies there. I was quite surprised at that. But anyway, you can see Barclayman has still got a couple of his Brutii infantry units left there, and you can see Dionysos attacking there. We've got cavalry. Barclayman has just admitted defeat there. So say our teams managed to go on to win the battle there. But that was a really tough battle there. You can see, as I say, most of the enemy troops now have all been routed, or their generals have admitted defeat there. Okay, so if we have a look at Mars there, I think Mars has got 1 infantry unit left. Okay, so that's the only infantry unit he's got left, is general unit. Yeah, so that's the only infantry unit that he's got left. And I think, if I remember right, he's got a few battle damaged cavalry left as well. So you have a look at the numbers of his battle damaged cavalry there. If you look there, can you see, what's that, 9 men left in that unit, 5 men left in that unit there. So 9 men left in that unit as well, and 13 left in that. So that is the sum total of Mars's army, his general unit and 4 extremely battle damaged units there. So that just goes to show how much of a real battle of attrition it was for myself and Mars there, trying to hold against 3 armies. And I was just going to have a look at my troops as well. I've got cavalry here. Oh my gosh, at 1 cavalry unit, I think, if I'm not mistaken there, let's have a quick look at the numbers. 1 man. So that 1 cavalry unit has just got 1 man left in it, and that's the 1 man there. He's a sole survivor of that unit. Oh my gosh, another one of my cavalry units with just 1 man in. So that unit's got 1 man in, that unit's got 1 man in, and oh my gosh, and my other cavalry unit's just got 1 man in. So the 3 remaining cavalry units that I've got left have just got 1 man in each, sole survivor in each of those units. Oh my gosh. If we look at my infantry there, oh, 2 men left in that infantry unit there, 7 men in that infantry unit, 2 men in that. I think if we pull back there, 2 men left in that infantry unit there, and in the general unit there, I still got a few in. There's a flying enemy troop there, and my eagle units have still got quite a few in. So you can see that both Mars and myself there have got very battle depleted troops, and after trying to hold against 3 armies. First thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. I thought everybody played well, and as you can see, it was an average victory there. Highest kills in the game goes to Dionysos there, 1,755 kills there. Remember, he only had 7 infantry, 7 archers, and 6 maximum upgraded cavalry, but he managed to get in the highest kills in the game. So unusual. And look how many troops he's got left as well. He's hardly lost any troops in that battle as well. So it's very unusual, I think, for an army like that to get that many kills and still have that many troops left. So well done to him. So just like to say, really well done to Jason Bourne. Bearing in mind, as I say, it's been 8 to 10 years since he's playing Rogue Total War. So I think to get 800 kills on his first battle after an 8 to 10 year gap from playing Rogue Total War, I think that's really good. So well done to Jason. I hope your confidence gets better as you play more, Jason. I'm sure you will. You're a great player of your time. Well done to Barclayman there, 1,139 kills. Well done to Uther, just got over the 1,000 kills there, so he'll be pleased with that. And well done to Mantu. As I say, if we don't reach 1,000 1,000 kills. You know, we're always a bit disappointed there, but he did a good tactical move there in holding Aurelius and Dionysos up. I'm quite happy with my kills there. I managed to get the second highest kills in the game, and bearing in mind that I was defensive for most of that battle, and we know that Rome Total War rewards attacking play with good kills. I'm pleased with that. Let's say well done to Dionysos, and well done to Mars there. His army was getting smashed and crashed there, but he managed to get over 1,000 kills, so well done to him, and well done to Aurelius. As I say, when we get less than 1,000 kills, I think we all feel a bit disappointed, but I thought Aurelius did really well there with his army there, his Greek city's army. So well done there. As I say, I was very, very surprised that Mars and myself managed to, you know, I mean, Aurelius and Dionysos did a 2v1 against Mantu there, and you know, I was really surprised there that Mars and myself managed to hold against 3 armies. I mean, that was quite surprising to me. So I was very pleased with that. Well done to Mars. I thought he did very well. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.